Hello, hello. It's me. You know what my first name should be? Late. And having a cat that no matter what I have done, hold on, I'll be back. God dang it. Nobody hurt you. Nobody hurt you. She's a feral. So she doesn't like being picked up. However, she's not allowed up here. And she knows that. Okay, I'm back. She knows she's not allowed up here. And she used to be really good about not coming up here. Well, in the last couple months, that has really changed. And so she just caused havoc with every little thing that I had set up and waiting to go. Doesn't help. I'm already late, which should be my first name. I did have my internet go out, and it just came back on 10 minutes ago. I put the wrong time in for the sale, and then I changed it, and then like 5 minutes later, my internet was gone. So it's back. Say a prayer. Okay, so my name is Lucinda. Hello. I don't usually have sales on Thursday, and I do know that a few of my reseller friends are on now. And this may be a time they're always on. And I didn't realize that until earlier this morning when I saw that. So my apologies. I don't like to step on anyone's toes, but there's so many people. It's like, so I'm sidebarring, but I'm in my little bubble of a pretty big group of reseller friends that I've had and made over the last 5-6 years. But when you step out of that bubble and just, for instance, type in jewelry, type in vintage, type in live sales on YouTube, there's dozens and thousands of us on at all times. So what you gonna do? Not much. I just keep on trucking. So today is all buy it nows. Jessica, hello. I hope you're doing well today. You missed my cat getting up in the very beginning and trying to knock over all my stuff. She's gotten really too curious lately. Thank you for doing that, Jessica. I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. I keep getting stuck at the 381 or 382 or 384 mark, and then YouTube keeps deleting them back to right at 380 or under. And it's that push to get to the 500. So I would get 10 cents every time I came on or whatever. It's very elusive. So I appreciate you, Jessica. You play an important role in our community. Anyway, so today, everything except the buy it now mystery jar, which I will show you the majority of what's in there. It's an eclectic mix, is buy it now prices. So, and I don't do recaps, and I have a mixture of household and jewelry. It's in the mid-range, right? Friday, I can bring pieces that, I ask like $70 or more, right? And $5. But I try to have, when I do 2 or more shows in a week or sales, one day that's lower, okay? And I know shipping is a problem. Yeah, I know. People leave some comments. People give likes. I have all the watch hours. I have everything but the 500. So, Jessica, doing the best I can. I just keep plugging away. And a lot of it has just been my life and all the interruptions. So, I'm Lucinda. That's my email. And I remember something I'm going to do. You know, so StreamYard's backwards. And for me, my info is over here. But for y'all, it's over here or something. So I go back and I watch. I'm holding an item here, and my details are all across it. So I'm going to put a sticky note on my computer to remember which side to hold an item up so that you all can actually see it, because it's just no good. Okay, boom. So I'm going to start with some household items. My name is Lucinda. I live in Northern California. That is where I ship from. I do 2-week build-a-boxes. This is week 2. I'm on today and tomorrow at my usual time, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then I start invoicing 2 or 3 days after the end of the 2 weeks, which will be Friday. And I ship that week. So that will mean I'll be shipping everything out next week. Okay? Okay. Hopefully this will be fun for everyone. Let's see what the heck happens. And I do, even though it's buy it now, I do have some really, really fun items. Let's see. This is a buy it now choice. And I love these. Oh, and I use PayPal and Pirate Ship just like everyone out there, or I believe everyone. These are choice at 10. Choice at 10. I've had these almost since I started reselling almost 2 years ago. Oh, highlight. I have to highlight. Sorry, I've been running around too. The internet went off, so I didn't know if I could have my sale. I put the wrong time in. Then I've got my life partner coming up. We have to do a lot of work, and I'm like a little frazzled. So this is made in Austria. This is fine porcelain. This bird, I'm a birder, so I have a particular fondness for this one. He is porcelain. He's very detailed. He has the little marks, lines that kind of add a definition of feathers. There's some more of them. And I believe, okay, if this was me as a birder, it's a blue-throated bird. That is a dark blue. The only birds I know with a blue throat would be like in the titmouse or the scrub jay category. So the Austria is worn out. There's an old label. And he's just and his head is a tiny bit blue also. He's just a little guy, about 3 by 2.5. And he has that egg cup shape. And your second choice is this, which to me, this is a gray scrub jay. That would be a eastern bird. It is also porcelain, eating out of a pink flower on what looks to kind of be a pile of grasses. Maybe it's supposed to be its nest, but why would there be a flower in there? I don't know. Anyway, if you're a birder, these are quality examples of birds. And this one is a Goebel, right? Yep. No, excuse me, George Good. This is a George Good. Oh, I'm supposed to show it over here. This is a George Good, which actually is a very, look at that dog hair on my hand, which actually is a highly collectible California pottery person. And this too is just a little. So you would put brown or gray. Okay. Moving on. I'm not going to take any any too long a time on anything in particular. And I'm going to be coming up with a new, I have come up with a new concept for a sale that'll be really fast with guests. So the only issue will be with that is that if you don't have really fast internet or you don't commit immediately, it'll be gone. So I'll prepare you for that when it's coming up. I promise. Okay, this is a buy it now for 15. Be kind of like one of the platforms out there that sets a timer. Yeah. And a timer will be set. So these, I've had these for a long, long time. Bye, Jessica. You have a fabulous day. You have a fabulous day. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing me out. Here is the first, and it says, my kitten. My kitten. It is a Whitman book. This My Kitten book, hi Fuzzy, is $19.49. See down there? That is $1,900, and L is 50. Oh, excuse me. No, 54. 1954. An L is 50, and an I before a V means you take away one from the 5, which is a V. So that is 1954. And it's just the cutest little book. And this little girl, who reminds me of my daughter, goes on adventures with her kitty. Now, these books are excellent for framing photos, for creating your own art, for using for junk journals, for simply reading to your children, for a lot of people use them as inspiration for tattoos. Yeah. And it's about, good grief, 8 inches tall by probably 3 inches wide. And with it comes this. Again, with the dog hairs. The graphics is everything. Look at that. And I thought, ephemera, they have to go together. They have to, 100 assorted gold eye needles with threader. And there's a little, looks like a little girl and a little boy, maybe 2 mischievous boys. I don't know. And inside, the majority of the needles on different colored embossed foil is still there. It seems as though the kind of fish hook, as I like to call them, and the top, like everyday needles, are the ones that are mostly gone. Although I think there's a few behind there. So $15 for both. And see, there goes a needle. Hold on. Let me put it back in. So for anyone who collects ephemera, know someone who loves cats. Look how sweet this is together. I've had this in a display in a metal flower frog many times. Yeah. Okay. So both of them for 15. Thank you, Fuzz. You would just put in cats. You would just put in cats. And I have more postcard ephemera and something else if anyone is interested. Just let me know. So I'm going to do one more household item. And then I will move over to Joy. How are you today, Fuzz? Huh? How's it going? Are you in fighting shape, tip-top shape? This is fabulous. And this is Bohemian Boy, I wish I could read. Hold on. Let me push this label. Bohemian glass, made in Italy. So, yeah, this is likely Empoli. It is a decanter. These sell for more like $60 and $70 still to this day. No, you're still having the eye issues. I'm so sorry to hear that. So this is this very light amber. Look at this fancy, and it is, gold painted. Look at the top. Even the top comes up to a point, and there is no paint loss. Look at the ground ponto. I mean, this is something I bought for myself, and I threw it in the sale today. But I would not be adverse to keeping it. And it has almost like an Egyptian revival with just this kind of flourish, and then the heavy gold, the pinstriping down. So it's a buy it now for $33, and then there's a larger one on the bottom, smaller one up on the side, clear here, as you can see, and Bohemian glass. So it is an Empoli, and it is, well, I'm going to measure it for y'all right quick, but it is, oh, Fuzz, what's wrong with your eyes, honey? Is it allergies? Or is it like I'm starting to get some macular degeneration? Although that's just a problem when like with depth perception at this point. It is 12 inches tall, the decanter, not my macular degeneration. 12 inches tall, and the bulbous part is 3.5 inches around, and the rest of it about 2. So one last time, buy it now, $33, and it's Empoli. It is, Empoli decanters and vases were selling for, I don't know, like $200 a year and a half ago. It's incredible. And, people will still pay that much. It just depends on if you're a collector or not. People will go after that one they don't have in their collection, right? Oh, that's interesting. I am so sorry. And I have it in this eye, and this eye feels swollen, but they didn't say that at the thing, but I need to go back to an eye appointment. Fuzz. Youchie. So you've gotten very good at sitting still while needles come at your eye. I mean, I'm laughing, but bless your heart. Yeah, 100%. See, and that's, yeah, I'm concerned. I mean, I literally have like this one place in my rod and cones, and I already had depth perception. And now when I have to walk down a hill or just certain things, I can tell there's like this little area that is not in my vision, so the info isn't going to my brain. Yeah. Yep. It's a thing. Okay, this is a set. Fuzz, don't go blind. Not yet. This is a set, and these are really cool. I've been really surprised that no one has purchased these as of yet. Hong Kong. These are from the 1960s, early 70s. Here is the Hong Kong. This is the first part of the set. You don't, there you go. You can just see. That there's words there. So obviously they're clip-on, and then they're just very light plastic black with this cool shiny ribbing. They're probably 70s Hong Kong. They're very disco. I mean, I've always had pierced ears, but back in the day when I went to the disco, I would have worn these. So that's way too high, but you get the idea. We're going out. Yes, we are. Man, I love to dance. So, and they weigh nothing. Nothing. And I would say they're probably about an inch in diameter. Oh, very Dynasty. Shoulder pads. Although Dynasty was the early 80s, right? I don't know. Shoulder pads. I never really liked shoulder pads. And so the second item that comes with those, because to me it matches, is this 1970s to 80s plastic costume jewelry ring. You've got your rhinestones, you've got your silver edging, and you've got your black plastic. Matchy, matchy. So there you are. All you need is a little black choker and maybe a red shirt or a red dress, little red dress. Dancing shoes or bare feet. And out you go. Kathy, hey you. Kathy, did you watch Dynasty? Almost everyone did. The house that I wound up living in my at 24, everyone watched Dynasty. And no, was I 24? No, excuse me. Yes, I was 24, and it was like 1983. And everyone watched it every week. And I had never seen it before. And I was like, what the heck is this ridiculous crap? What do you mean he died in the shower and came back to life? What? So, here's the size. Here's the 7, and the band is down in the middle of the 8. Now, it's a tight concave, and this finger usually would be an 8. Now, it is very hot here today. My fingers are a little swollen, but to be on the safe side, I'd like to call this a 7.5. Look at how. So there you go. You got your dancing, ready to go out. They're set. If anyone changes their mind later, you can rewatch this and you can send me an email, and I will go back through and I will find the price. I do not, unless I'm on someone else's sale, write down. I don't keep a whole spreadsheet and do all that. It's, I can just rewatch and look at the comments on my end. And I'm very honest with people. The fact of the matter is, last week, Noelle wanted something, and I went back to look for the price, and I found a price that was right in that time, and I thought it was too much, and she corrected me and said, no, it's the one above. And I was like, that you're right, because I knew it was too much. Oh no, Fuzz, honey, please rest your eyes. Don't worry about it. Okay. People will either show up or they won't. I mean, what are you going to do about that? There's not much I can do about that. Okay, let's do another piece of, and I want you to get better, Fuzz. And today is like a buy it now clearance. And I think I'm going to use Thursdays for that. Although I don't know. I have a lot of ideas percolating around in my brain. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. So this is a buy it now for 15. This is a very nice bracelet. In my mind, it's unisex. I, again, do not know why no one is buying it. Hold on. I just want to make absolutely sure one last time. It is made in China, but it is not. It is a vintage China piece. It is not modern. Okay, just wanted to see if it said gold filled anywhere. So it doesn't say gold or gold filled. So then I'm going to presume that it's just a gold tone color. It's possible it has a tiny bit of electroplating. I don't know. I do know that these scarab stones are real. And they are likely jaspers and jades. So this would be probably a jade. A brownish maroon scarab jasper. That is a very interesting, almost like a tiger's eye scarab. It's got great articulation as well. Here is an orange. I'm not sure what that would be. A type of carnelian jasper. This could be lapis lazuli with the blue. And they are just, small chips of stones, but you can see how they raise up. Here is an onyx, and this is definitely just like a brown kind of jasper. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stones. And then this kind of watch band sides, if you will. Buy it now for 15. Just put in bracelet. It fits my wrist exactly. It's very pretty on, right? So it is a 7.25, and you could drop it down as small as a 6.75, which is the top of a lady small. If you did that, it would fall down to right about here. Okay, buy it now, 15. These are really good prices, y'all. And what's going to happen is the same as a lot of other items I've been bringing. These are items I've had hanging around for a long time. And if I can't sell them on here at buy it now discounted prices, then they're going somewhere else. I'm not sure. I really believe that if I could get to 500 viewers, the majority of what I bring would sell. I'm just not. I don't know. I just can't get to that place. Okay. Let's do one more very inexpensive. Thank you for looking, everyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I really do. Don't think I don't. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Without you, we wouldn't be sharing our passion of all things vintage or contemporary vintage style. This is almost, a lot of people would have done this like as an add-on to their box. If someone bought, they would do an add-on. These are old vintage glass beads. Although the bottom has AB coating, but they do look very rose quartzy. So I'm just gonna leave that out there. The top is like a champagne. It's an AB champagne that is picking up the pink that is blowing out the color. It is there you go. And then it has the rondette. So someone took apart a necklace or a bracelet and made this little pair of earrings. $4. $4. You couldn't, these are glass. These are not, these are glass. And I think this is a real stone. You could not purchase the beads for $4. And I have no idea if the wires are sterling silver or not. I'm looking. I don't see that. These were never worn. This is just an artist's creation. And they are, see that? Pink. About 2/3 of an inch long. They're really sweet. And I gotta tell you, this is one of those things where it's like, am I going to wind up keeping it? What are we going to do with this? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But how is everyone doing? Are you still with me? Okay. This, if you can give me a thumbs up, if you can subscribe, even if you leave me because there's someone else on or you don't like what I'm selling, that would be great. You never have to come back. But this is my business, and I'm really trying to take ownership of it again. And I want to start coming on twice a week. And then I'm going to be on 3 or 4 times a week, even if it's only for an hour each time. Yep. Okay. So this little guy is actually really, really, really fantastic. And I just looked him up online. They sell for like $80. And I'm like, what? It is Norcrest China Company. So it is a porcelain. Norcrest, 1950s, 1960s, Japan. It has its original stopper. It is a piggy bank. And in fact, I could only find one of these online. Look at its face. Those lashes are like a dead giveaway for the 50s. I love that face. You know, I used to have lashes that long. I really did. Been a long time. And then has these Capodimonte raised roses with the hand-painted green dots. Of course, there is some crazing in the clear coat glaze. Japan, in particular, used a overglaze on their objects that always cracked and crazed. After, I don't know. I have no idea. 10 years, 15 years? Don't know, but it certainly didn't hold up to 50 years. And every single rose, well, let me take that back. Not every single rose is perfect. There are a couple. Okay. So there are a couple, like on the ear, there's a couple tiny pieces missing. But there's so many of these little roses that you don't see that. And the one I found online, same thing. So you would just put in pig. And if you're a reseller, you can resell this for twice to 2/3 what I'm asking. They're very collectible kitsch. And him does not have him's tail. I have the tail. And you could glue it back on. Someone sold it to me and it had the tail, but it had been glued on upside down. So I worked and took it off. It was really bad glue. I have the little tail, but there's one tiny piece missing. So the tail still goes on a little crooked. Doesn't mean that anyone would notice. You just need Gorilla Glue and a tiny little buildup of something like maybe the Gorilla Glue and put the tail on, or just leave it off. Little piggy. Okay, that's the little piggy. I love the little piggy. And the little roses have tiny little rhinestones inside of them. Okay. How about this? Buy it now. This is antique glass. It is crystal. I'm sure it is from Italy. I am trying to clear items. I'm trying. Like, it's up to me to work my business harder. It's not up to you all. But I also have to sell things or I can't continue to even bother with this business. I have so much invested in stock and I've got to sell it. Look at this thing. Look at how gorgeous. Now, the one thing that's happening right now is the color is washing out, but I wanted to show you the way they did these lines and the swirl down at the bottom, almost like, and then down here, see how they pulled that? So this is all pulled, the design. See how they did that? Very fine glass. It is hollow in the middle, and listen. You hear that? If you hear that, then you know it's crystal. That is a very European antique glass. It is red, but it is sun-worn red, but not more like that. A little bit darker underneath. It weighs nothing. This doesn't even weigh an ounce. And it is about 5 inches tall. It is beautiful. It has zero cracks, chips, dings, anything. It is a little dirty down at the bottom. I have no idea how it has survived. Look at that. You can just see how they pulled it and wrapped it. It's beautiful. Think about it, y'all. These things are going to wind up getting in a chat. I talked with a reseller. Some of you may know her, Miss Pat, and she said that she was open to doing a eBay listing afternoon or evening here and there with me. And so that's going to start happening because I have a lot of stock that is much better than what I've had for a long time that I'm just going to put in eBay because that seems the thing to do at this point. Okay. Since I'm moving rapidly, you know what? I'm going to do my mystery jar. So this is the only item that is not a buy it now. It starts at $40. It is inside this very old, beat up, aluminum topped blue ball jar. This jar is 100 years old. Now, the jar you could use for your marbles, for your random crafting items, whatever, right? And it's about 8 inches. But it is, you know, it is in extremely rough shape. See that? I mean, it's aluminum, and it's been around a long time. And when my kitty was just up at the beginning of when I started this, was up on my thing, she knocked this over, and the little melt glass insert, which is, you use these to can, right? Hold on, these were canning jars that you used over and over, and they had, it will fit back in here, there you go. It had milk glass as an insulator. So that is now broken in half, so that will fall off again. So you need to Gorilla Glue it on. And if someone wins this and they really want me to do that, I will do it. But the top is rough, so you might almost not want the top. I don't know. So I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. This is a jar full of things, and they are all in bags, because if no one wants this, then I will. And there, so this is room for a reseller. These are 90s. I love this style of hoop because they click. Orange, pink, and quartz balls. That's one item. I think there's about, good grief, maybe 20 items in here. And I'm going to do it as fast as I can. This is some kind of a light green stone on a pendant. It's probably from the 70s. It does, no, it's probably older than that. It's marked. Hold on. It is, sorry, I didn't realize that. I was trying to make this simpler. Oh, well, this maybe, I think this has gold. Yes. So this is a JJJ, not just JJ, JJJ 1220 gold filled. So this is a gold filled 1220 JJJ pendant. So it is vintage. I think JJJ was 60s, 70s. Okay. So there is contemporary and vintage and just random mix. There is a pair of these purple stone with gold ball earrings. There is a pair, but I just dropped one. Sorry. Hold on. That's my stretch for the day. They're almost like little butterfly colors. I suspect that's dyed. It has an opalescence. If it's not dyed, I would not know the stone. Okay, coming back over here. Sorry. There's a lot in here, y'all. There is a 1970s tiger's eye butterfly stick pin. There is a modern, actually, you know what? I determined this is not modern. It's probably the 90s, maybe the 70s. That is glass, the blue, and those are glass rhinestones. It is very tall. It is silver tone brooch. It is not also a pendant. That would be nice. And it's about 3 inches long by 2 inches wide. There's so much to go through in here. Here is a teeny tiny pair of what very likely are sterling silver plated, almost tiny little like coffee bean earrings. Some of this I'm not going to take out of the bag. It's too much. This is interesting. I cannot tell. So some of this is stones. Some of this is plastic. This is glass. We all know this leaf pattern, right? This is old vintage taken off of like the 2 or 3 or 5 stand chokers. So some artist did a reinterpretation. And what I would do with this personally is use it for crafting. Although you absolutely could wear it. It's got 2 leaves, 2 leaves, and the one on the bottom. See, there's a lot in here for $40, y'all. There is a pair of heavy triangle pounded copper earrings. They are heavy, so if you can't wear heavy earrings. There is a very well worn Fantasta early 1970s choker style puka shell necklace. Remembering correctly, it literally goes to about here. It's like 14 inches. Someone did a lot of surfing and wearing of this back in the day. See how much is still left in here? This is my longest item. It goes on and on. This is a really cool modern dichroic glass, oranges, creams, and like coppery glitz. Dichroic glass pendant. It is a very solid pendant. So it's well made. You can see the stone and the epoxy on the back. All it needs is a gold chain. Or, I mean, you could put it on a cord, but I'd put it on a gold chain. Okay, where are we at, y'all? There's still a lot in here. Sorry. Starts at 40. I don't have a bid yet, so it seems to me as though this is probably a waste of my time. Okay, this is a Carolee, Carolee, very collectible. This is late 30s, probably late 30s, maybe early 50s, but it is the pin back just goes through, so we're gonna go with, well, we've got to then go with 60s. However, I feel like it may have been filed down. Here it is with the rhinestones and the faux pearl. It is about 2.5 inches long. And all this stuff is going to stay in its bags in this jar. Anyone interested so far? These are, there's someone on the back. I don't know who. They are pierced enamel gold earrings. And they do have a maker down there. Just not worth it for me at this moment to... Here is a copper enameled artisan pin. I love the light blue and the feather. It's like a dandelion, right? It's like a puffball. Here is the back. So all these items that I've shown you, with the exception of maybe one, you can resell for $40. I've got over, I'll tell you how many pieces there are, but and there's a couple you could use, or you could use for crafting. It just depends on your vibe. I think this is so cool. That is glass pendant on the bottom. Beautiful blues. Let's see if I can show you this. This almost looks like real silver on the bottom. It doesn't look like your typical filigree bead caps. And look at that glass. Beautiful. And then you've got your glass and plastic vintage beads with your silver filigree work, all different kinds. Again, it's one of those, to me, it's one of those. I mean, here's even a piece of liquid silver. It's one of those people that sat around and took apart stuff they found and repurposed it a long time ago. The clasp looks as though it may say something, but it also may just be worn out. Not sure. I think it's beautiful. It's fun and funky. It is about probably 26 inches long necklace, and the pendant adds another 3. So just this right there is $20 to $30. Where did its bag go? Maybe it didn't have a bag. I don't know. Moving on. Getting down to the last item in this jar. 2 more. This, I have no idea of the value of this. This is the type of thing that I, as a vintage and costume jewelry person who loves plastics and whatnot, never got into. This type of brand name, like designer jeans and all that. I never got into that, so I don't know anything about it. It is from 1981. Guess jeans is how that started. Surrounded by rhinestones. There's a one tiny one missing, but you could find that chip anywhere. Here's the back. It is a very solid, heavy bracelet chain. This was very popular, with a nice toggle. And last item. I can't believe nobody wants my mystery jar, y'all. And I showed you every item. So, and I'll count how many are in here in a minute. And then this is just, I don't know what this is. I'm going to show you the back. Do you see how that is put together? I can't open it, but I know that it must open. I don't know if it's, I mean, I have a whole huge collection of men's cufflinks and tie tacks, and that's the only thing I can think of that this could be, except none of them have that back. So yeah, I'm mystified. If anyone knows what this is, please tell me. Okay, so you get the ball jar, and you know, I would sell this jar alone, even with that lid like that, for $10 to $12. So 2, 3, I really like that necklace. I love this. 4, copper enamel pin. Carol Lee. 5, dichroic glass. 6, 1970s puka shells. 7 7 8 enamel post earrings, their names on there. 9 hammered copper earrings. This green necklace / art piece. 10. This brooch. 11. I love that royal color. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16, and this is gold filled from the 70s. 16 items, $40. So you do the math. 16 items, $40. That is less than $4 an item. Nobody was interested. I'm surprised. I mean, no, it's not filled with antique. You know, I'm not that desperate, and I couldn't do it. But there you go. Okay, thank you for looking. What direction to go? How about just a tiny little thing? Whoops. That almost came out at $43. Buy it now, $3 if you have a box with me. You want to start a box with me, although tomorrow is the end of my 2-week build a box. It's just this modern redware artist Frida Kahlo tile. It's 2x2. $3. So you just put Frida in. And if anyone really likes these and would want like a lot of different types, I can get a good supply of these and have them shipped up to me. Like if you were going to do a new backsplash behind your sink in your mermaid bathroom, or your kitchen sink, or a wall in your garden, or whatever it is, these come in all different designs and different colors. Okay. Moving on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for looking. So see, today I'm just going through and I'm showing it to you, and you're either in or you're out. Okay, how about this? This is a buy it now for $17. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this. I bought this from someone who I bought a lot of modern, costume jewelry, like maybe Temu or something, rings, as to kind of have something like inexpensive for someone, or do giveaways, or I don't know what I was thinking, but I was collecting them up, and I got this from that person, and this was like 9 months ago. I never looked at it until last night and realized that not only does it say 925, but I bothered to look it up. And this is mother of pearl. This is onyx. And this is smoky quartz. It is made in China. It is contemporary. But I was like, shut the front door. I just thought all of this was plastic and complete nonsense. And I was offering it up for, $7. No one ever took me up on it. And I love the design of this piece. It is obviously too small for my fingers, or I would be keeping it. It is not, outrageously incredible stones or any of that. But for a fun ring, like for your teenager or for yourself, that doesn't cost a lot but has real stones, is actually sterling silver. 3 bands for $17. I mean, how do you go wrong? Like I said, if it fit me, I'd keep it. Now, it would fit me like that, but this is too big to wear like that. I wear, small spoon rings, silver, but that one's just, it's too big. Look at it. It's very nice. And it's been tested. It says 925 right in there. And then China. And you can find a few of these online. So they came out within the last 10 years. And like I said, it's nothing like, wow. But I think it deserves a place. And what actual size is it, one might want to know. I would want to know. And I have decided the only way to do these correctly is with the back band. So the middle hits 6.5. So I'm going to say it's a 6.5. And that feels right on my fingers. It's a 6.5. Yeah. This is a really fun thing. You know a teenager? You know someone that's a friend that just needs a little pick-me-up? Real stones, sterling silver, 925, $17. I got you covered. Okay. Please, friends, even if you're just here looking, you're not going to purchase, you don't have money, you're just having a moment, you're spending some time while you're not at work, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. If I can get to that goal of 500, then I can start really making money instead of just putting up all these numbers like this. I would be selling, and my time is money, and I would be getting somewhere. Why? Just because I got over that hump. YouTube has this thing. If you don't get over that hump and get to the 500 or above mark, they don't push you out. They don't suggest you. My shorts that I make that are all about my homestead and country living, they get over 1,000 views all the time. But I'm not selling John Deere's horses or sheepdogs. So that doesn't get me anywhere. That would be nice. I've thought about that. I thought about, well, maybe there's a way I could just have a channel where I run around and talk about country living, but that's ridiculous. Okay, this is a buy it now. It is a Victorian trinket box, silver plated. It has silk lining. Because it is silver plate, is it that right there? See right there where some of the silver has come off? Because it's silver plate, but it is Victorian. I paid a lot for this. I paid for this and I had it shipped along with a couple other items. I wanted this simply so that I could bring it to all of you. These are roses, possibly tulips. I am not making hardly anything. And these sell generally for $100 or more. So I'm making a couple dollars trying to pass it on to you, my friends. literally a couple dollars. And if you wanted to if you list anywhere, you could ask probably $80 comfortably. It is a casket trinket box. It is made by B&W, patented 4-4-02, B&W. Here is the inside silk lining. This is the original lining. Is it absolutely perfect? No. Is it bad? Not really. These often are missing their lining altogether, or they've had new lining put in. It doesn't affect their price. Inside of this is this, it says Crimmets, which is a very collectible line of jewelry. And then it says plate, Crimmets plate, like eating off a plate. It looks gold to me. I have no idea what this would be for. None. But it is inside this box. This box, here's the back with the hinge. So this is from like the 1910s. This box is about 2.5 inches tall by 3.25 inches wide. Okay. I don't do recaps, so if anyone's interested in anything, you need to speak up. Speak up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for looking. Okay, let's do these guys. These, I believe I discovered who the maker is. Today. However, I can't find one exactly like this at all. I believe this might be made by Haro or Jaro, but I'm going with the H as a more like in Spanish. Haro, H-A-R-O, but it's J-A-R-O. I think I'm pretty dang positive this is marble, very old marble. So there's the bottom. It's a heart. And it is total MCM yumminess. I was calling these swans. It's possible that they are, what is the other super long-necked birds? Oh gosh. They had it, swans. And, oh my Lord, it's gone completely out of my head. Anyway, this one's looking straight up and it has all these lines running through. This is carved marble. This is one piece. This is from the late 50s, early 60s. Look at this. And there's a little black stone inset into the eye. So this one's looking up and it's got all this striations. And then this one is dark orange with a lot more color variation. And this light is blowing it out right now. Let me bring it back. So the J-A-R-O swans, they're generally, you find them separate, but there's a lot of them. They look just like these dead ringers. And they sell for like $60 for one, up to $100 or more for two. And I was like, what? But there you are. And this is very dark orange. There you go. This one's very dark orange. And this one's a light orange. And it is not dyed. Cut out of a single piece of marble on this heart. Look, it's dusty. See that dust? have a lot of dust living in the country. So it is about 5 inches tall up here, and the heart is also about 5 inches long. You can look in my preview to get all the saturations, because this is like a light orange, then there's a stripe of orange, then there's like a pink, then there's, and this guy has rings all the way up its neck and its tail. So my preview often shows things in a better light. And this probably weighs 12 ounces. I'm just letting you know. I just found out that our post office, so while I was out of the loop and grieving my dad, I just heard on someone's channel, the post office does not charge up to the pound anymore. They charge 1 to 4 ounces, 5 to 9, and then 10 to a pound. So keep that in mind, because I have no control over that. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is unbelievable. And it is a buy it now. Normally I wanted to bring this, but normally I would never bring this as a buy it now. But today I did. It is inside this case. I will take it out. It was sent to me in this case. I think I can take it out. Someone really wanted to take care of it. I think I can take it out. Can I not? There you go. Yay! I opened it. You just push. So it is this beautiful silver filigreed, very detailed, swirled and raised enamel work butterfly brooch. There you go. Do you see how it's got like the little drops? And then you see how it's swirled. Yeah, you see the swirling? So it's not static at all. It is not sterling silver. And I looked this up. Is that actually the maker? Oh, there it is. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe it is sterling silver. Hold on. I looked this up and then I forgot because I did a lot of things running around this morning. Backwards, upside down. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so I knew I was wrong when I said that. It is sterling. It is made in Germany. And then there's something else it's trying to say. Oh boy. I don't know. I can't read the other word. But it does say it's sterling silver. It says all of that back here. Sterling silver, made in Germany. This is likely, and it is that filigree, but it's more modern than the 30s through 50s little pins. And it's a large size. It is, of course, it's made in Germany. That's why it's done so very well. And I don't think it's ever been worn. It has 0 tarnish on it. I'm sure it probably costs $60 or more new. So it is, I'll measure it because it has wings. It's a little bit hard to tell. Buy it now at $30, y'all. As usual, I'm getting nowhere fast today. 2 1/4 inches long, and at its widest, about 2 1/2. It's really stunning. Made in Germany. I wish I could read that one other little piece because it would tell me the maker. But you can take a screenshot of this and you will find others. And you will see it sells for about double what I'm asking. Maybe not quite double. Okay. Now, this is an odd thing, but here we are. Thank you for looking. Nobody wants to add. If you've come in late, I don't do recaps. So you can always look at my preview. You can always put your settings at ×2 and buzz through and drop in the chat that you are interested in something, or you can reach out in an email later. Okay? Thank you. So this is sad. I actually, and it's $14, and if the other piece wasn't broken, this would be, $45, $50 all day long. Look at that. A actual card that says Jewelry of Albert Weiss. Oh my God. I've never seen that before. How about any of you? Never have I seen this card. And the earring does say Weiss. And I do have the other. Let me take this off and show you. I do have the other glass. But what broke off. Okay, here's the back. Really well done in this beautiful smoky topaz with the orange stones. The clip-on is what broke off. So I do have this other piece, right? And I was thinking I would pin it, epoxy it onto a brooch or something. If someone wanted this with the card and the other piece, it would be a buy it now for $20, and it would be on you to then go ahead and make whatever you want with it. Maybe you know how to fix the clip backs. I don't. And there is where it says Weiss. Now, Weiss dabbled in rhinestone jewelry and jewelry period, I think in the 70s, and that was it. It was a very short-lived run. They mostly stuck to their purses. This is an excellent piece. I've had this since I sold on eBay in 2001 when eBay was brand new. It's beautiful. So I have this with the card. The card alone is probably worth $14. And if you want the other one that's broken and you can fix a clip back, or you want to make the brooch, then it would be $20 for this and the other piece. This is outstanding. Okay. Thank you for looking. Well, oops, I thought that went over there. This is a buy it now for $35. This clearly has some patina. Sorry. It is a floral leaf type of scroll pattern. It is hand scrolled. This is vintage. Hand etched, scrolled. It has the safety chain. It opens right here, and it is 925. It does not tell me a maker. It is hollow. I can tell that. And I can tell this piece seems very old to me. This piece feels as though it's been around at least since the 50s. It is really gorgeous. I do not need any more bracelets nor bangles. No, I do not. No, I do not. I refuse to keep it. Just no. I was looking at how much jewelry I have upstairs since I always had a lot anyways. I mean, I'm addicted to jewelry. I've always loved jewelry. I've been selling jewelry since the 70s. But when I got back into it and I looked how much I have upstairs, it's preposterous. So this fits on me, no problem. And I'm a 7.25 and there's this much room. I think because of the way it closes, it could go up to a 7.5, which is the middle of a lady's medium. Sterling silver, $35, vintage. Come on, no takers? You guys, this is a rock bottom price. I mean, no, everything isn't $10 or $5 or, but $35. I think that's a good price. Is it not a good price? Am I crazy? I don't know. Okay, so for whatever reason, I can't get this off in this moment, so I'm going to leave it on, but it's not going to become mine. And if someone decides to buy it, please drop it in the chat. And I wish people were talking with me. I'm bored. I'm just prattling along and, it's just me with numbers. That's really boring. That's really boring. I'm going to have to get to the point where, back to where I was before my father passed in March, because I can't talk to myself all the time. It's driving me nuts. I used to have, we talked. My friends and I, we talked about our passions, for vintage and life and everything. And nowadays it's mostly just me, and I could talk for hours, but it's boring. So this is Incolay. It's a type of stone found only in California. It is a stone, and it was very popular in the 60s, 70s. It is not around anymore. I don't know if it was mined out. I really don't know. This is called The Dancers. It is 3 women dancing in a circle. To me, they're like goddesses. They're very happy. It is raised up off the browns, creams, and oranges on this box. Incolay is just stunning if you've never heard of it or seen it. All along here, it has a raised, like floral, bowery wreath, garland type, loose wreath where you're just hanging the bows, bowery. I may be using that word incorrectly. And then this raised, embossed, carved. It is a really interesting shape. It is a larger size. These sell for over $100. So, and I'm not making a lot at 28, but they do. Look them up. They sell for over $100 right now. And that's not just what people are asking. When I say that, I don't do some ridiculous Google image search and then just see what people are asking for something, because someone could ask $5,000 for this. That doesn't mean that's what it's selling for. So I do my research and I put the filters on. What is it selling for? Here's the inside. Look at that beautiful colors inside. Black velvet on the bottom. It is super sweet. It is about 2 inches tall and it is about 5 inches long. It's beautiful. Yeah, look up Inkole. I've sold a blue one before. It was not as nice, the design on the front, as this. People often pick this up and mistake it for a type of plastic, but it's not. It's almost like a shale, but not as brittle, if that makes any sense. Okay. By now, 28. Well, y'all, I got to tell you. Ouch. I'm going to bring just a couple more jewelry items. I have been the only one talking, except at the very beginning. And I have put in a lot of items, and no one's talking, and no one seems interested today. And that's okay. This is a new and different time slot for me. So I think I'm going to show a few more items and close the sale. If anyone is here who saw my preview, or if anyone is here who is really interested in a particular item that I showed in my sale, let me know. Please put it in the chat. Or if you're in general, really interested in earrings, you're really interested in brooches, you like plastic bangles, whatever, talk to me, Seymour. Talk to me, Seymour. Okay, this is a bite now of 18. This comes in a little box. Almost all of my stuff is either in a bag or a box. This is 1980s or 1990s. Could be the 70s. I remember these in the 70s, but I feel like this is a repop in the 90s. Carved black rose silver tone ring. It is plastic. Anyone remember this style from the 70s? Super tall, up off your finger. Goes with my nail polish. If this was a size that fit over here, because I love plastic, I would not be getting off of it. Because it ticks all my vintage and plastic boxes and rings, and more rings. So, I don't want to measure it. I want to put it on the ring sizer. We could measure it. That's not really very helpful. Yep. Okay. So the back band on this comes down to 7 3/4. It fits this pinky perfectly. This generally is an 8. And this says 7 3/4. So this is something I've learned about rings. I've been saying this a lot lately is, for instance, if you measure it with the actual decorative part in front, it becomes very nebulous as to what exact size it is, right? Because this wants to go down to an 8 3/4 on the bottom, but what you really want is the middle. And then sometimes you have a ring like this, an open band. The open band with the curve is going to throw you off. So it's good to have the seller try it on their own fingers where they know what size their fingers are, and to measure it with the band and not the decorative. So again, this says 7 2/3, but it fits perfectly on this finger very comfortably. So I'm going with an 8. $18. Has a little bit of wear on the band part right there, which makes sense. It's been around a long time and someone wore this and loved it. Is there any type of anything on the inside that tells you who the heck it is, who made it? No. Okay. As long as I did that, I have so much jewelry sitting here in front of me, y'all, and household. I collect kitsch, etc. If someone was really interested in something, if you threw it out there in my chat, if you were so bold, I would see if I could accommodate you. Okay. Because I said Thursdays were all buy it now, that's what's happening. This, again, I've had this set since 2001. Why? Because I squirreled it away. I had 3 boxes, of which I only have 1 left, of stuff that when I was selling on eBay, I squirreled it all away. Because I just, I collected it. I didn't want to sell it. Okay. There's the bracelet, the earrings, and the necklace. I think this is a hell of a deal. I think this is Victorian. I want someone to love it. I want someone to wear it. I want someone to love this. This is a bracelet. These are faux pearls. They are not glass. It's vaguely possible they're real pearls, but based on the tiny bit of wear that I see on them, I'm going with no. So here, this is obsidian. This black, that's obsidian. These were done by wiring the pieces onto this back. This looks more modern than Victorian, but I'm still sticking with my theory, okay? Look at the wire here, how these are being held together, this thin wire, and then this band with the 3 rondelles. It just doesn't seem, and then you've got these dropped here. It could be, let's go with 30s. There's something about it that, so here's the bracelet. And you see how wide it opened on me? Because that's another clue that this was really old, because this, was made for a very tiny Victorian woman. It still fits me, but its probably true size was a 6. So there's the bracelet. Then you've got the incredible, and again, there's no maker, and they're so finely made. That's the other reason why I'm like, Okay, then it's older. Here's the earrings. Same pattern as in the middle of the bracelet. And they're meant to be so the stones are on the outside like that. Kind of like two parts of a matching large circle. I'll open this one up. Yeah, there's just no maker. It's incredible. These are okay. And then the necklace. And nobody's interested in this sale or claims it afterwards. This is yet another item I need to get with Miss Pat. I need to email her. And I'm going to be taking everything off my eBay except jewelry. I'm going back to listing jewelry. Here is the necklace. It is in perfect condition. Look at the extender with the pearl. Look at that. Here is the clasp, like a shepherd's hook. There's a little bit of base metal starting to come through. That's another clue that it's much older. And here is the backs where they did all the wiring of everything onto those pieces. I think someone's here. So you've got your necklace, and this necklace is fully extended on me, 16 inches. Look how beautiful that is. And then throw on the earring. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is going to go on eBay. The bracelet, $46. Oh, Noelle. Noelle. Noelle, where'd you come from? Noelle. Hi, Noelle. Okay. Noelle, good for you. I'm like, this is like less than half price on this item, Noelle. Noelle is my sneak attack. Okay. Fair warning, everyone. Noelle, I'm so used to nobody talking to me this whole sale that like I look over and it's like, oh, there's actually a person. So someone would have to come in at 47 or higher. I don't think anyone's going to. Hi, Noelle. How's it going? Noelle. Sold to Noelle, 46. Noelle, this is gorgeous. If you find out, thank you, man. If you find out more about these pieces, let me know. I have had these set of 3. I have had these for so long, and I know they're really old, and I know they're really special, but in all my research, let me put it in a bag, I have never been able to find out who makes them. I've never found another set. Never. So were they specially made for someone? I mean, I just don't know. But I think you're going to really like it, Noelle. There you go. Boom. It's in a bag for Noelle. Yay, Noelle. Okay. Well, there you go. I sold something. Okay. What else is going on in here? Well, let's see. I got my friend and life partner just arrived, so I'm gonna do just these couple more pieces and then be done. I hope it's not too hot where you are, Noelle. It's getting hot here, but then it's going to go down. Then it'll go back up. Then pretty soon we're going to go into fall. Yuck. Buy it now, $36. There's my dog talking. He's happy. So this has gold spacers, black glass. Hold on. That's not glass. That's plastic. So the black is plastic. Wait a minute. No. That's glass. No. Okay. I knew it. No. The black cut beads, I'll take it off of Dolly in a minute. This is my first. This is Dolly. Is cut glass. And then this green, I have not been able. Here's the clasp. Here's some gold, little spacer, solid gold. I have not been able to figure out this green. I don't know if it's a jade, but I'm not used to jade having all that depth. It's not malachite. I don't know if it's, I just don't know. This beautiful black cut glass with the gold spacers echoing here, it's gorgeous, and they get bigger and bigger. See right there, it's very clear. So that makes me think that this might have been something that was dyed because of that dyed green. It's absolutely beautiful, and it will be perfect for fall coming up. Chilly in New York? Get out of here. It can't be chilly. What does that mean? It's in the 90s? Well, impossible that it's chilly in New York in August. Oh, maybe because of the storm. Okay, I'll give you that. Maybe because of Tropical Storm Erin or Hurricane 2 Erin. Here's the bottom. Maybe that, I'll give you that. Saved by the hurricane, because I'm like, New York in August, chilly? Something is wrong. So, wow, that's crazy. So that has to be from the storm, because that's crazy. Here you go. Yeah. Here you go. When it's on, it is about 18, almost 20 inches long, and it's absolutely stunning. And like I say, it'd be beautiful in the fall. It's contemporary with these black super, they're not AB coated, they're just faceted and cut, faceted. Those are vintage beads, probably check glass. But then the green is a mystery. I do not know the answer. Okay. So last night, so it's 70 currently. So it has to be. It has to be from the storm. Doesn't make sense otherwise. Okay. What was I gonna do? Oh. So let's show this, that, and this. Okay. Noelle, I have not been on Instagram in forever to see what your collection is doing. I don't really have the time, the emotional bandwidth to go on yet another social media platform. But I should go in just to check out what's going on with you. Okay, so this has this very small extender, but this is also the full extender is all of this, about 2 inches. It doesn't have any maker's mark. I suspect it had a hang tag. There is some little markings on this clasp that I cannot read. I think it says gold filled. These square stones. This is a more contemporary, like 90s or 2000s of the Australian crystal bracelets. You know how you're used to seeing them rounded and beveled? Well, this is gold and square. And it's got all the colors of the rainbow, that's what I really appreciate about these pieces, is that each piece of Australian crystal, which is what this is like a rainbow. Blue, peridot color, red, aquamarine blue, purple. Oh, and look. So here's where it's flat, but then you turn it over on the back, and it is a cut little gemstone. So it's crystal. And it just repeats. And it's just a sweet, elegant little necklace at $16. Make an excellent gift. Christmas is coming up. I hate to say that, but it is. This would fit my wrist or a smaller wrist. 16. Okay, I am going to close with this cameo. And then literally, I have done really well in 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. I have flown through an enormous amount of items. And I would bring a few more, but I'm just not getting the concept that I'm either bringing the right things or that y'all are interested. So I'm going to show this last item, and then I'm going to go check out, have lunch, and say hello to my guest. Okay. I've had this forever. Don't know why, but who knows? That's why I'm going to start. I got to get in touch with Miss Pat and list on eBay. I have I have thousands of dollars worth of vintage and contemporary jewelry. So this is Marlena. I kept forgetting her name. This is Marlena. She's my newer helper friend. So on Marlena is a shell. So it's a real carved cameo. It is a blank because it never was put into a brooch, etc. But it is true shell, and it is on a sterling silver chain. I put it on the sterling silver chain. You could take it off and put it on a gold chain if that's what you wanted. It's totally your choice. How do I know this is shell? Because of this. Number one, there's the texture. If you touch it and you tap it, it sounds like shell. Number two, it is see-through in these layers like that. It is not plastic. And then look, she is right facing. She is not left facing. Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry. Should bring out. Yeah, Noelle, if I had them, I would, sweetheart. I promise you. This, you see the teeny tiny, I see Noelle has bought this, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it's all about it now. Noelle, I did that to you with the set. I was like, if someone else wants it, blah, 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 and it's a buy it now. Girl, you should have interrupted me and said that. I'm not used to doing all buy it nows. So these little beads are super old. This used to be on a pink cord. And Noelle probably remembers I was asking $45 and $50 for this. She is sexy. She is gorgeous. She is bent. She is curved. She is on a silver chain. And she is Noelle's. Noelle bid $25. Now I'm going to say sold to Noelle. Kathy, I hope you're feeling okay. Hands up. It's okay that you interrupted me, but it's true. I would like to find more sets. It's hard to find sets because in order to find sets, first off, vintage costume jewelry that I bring is 50 years or older. And, the person passes on and one person takes a necklace and one person takes the bracelet and they sell the earrings, or a reseller comes to a sale and they buy all the pieces but they sell it separately, or it goes to a Goodwill because no one wants it, they don't know what they have, and it gets divided up into separate things. So the only way to find the sets would be that I was around a lot of estate sales, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I'm not, and I don't have something like high bid auctions near me. I really wish I did, because if I had the type of thing where I could bid on a huge flat of items and then, bring them to all of you at super low prices, blah, blah, blah. I would likely find sets. But that doesn't exist in California. Okay, Noelle, thank you for buying that. I mean, if anyone out there wants to be my shill and lives in Ohio or New York or Georgia or, Texas, and can be my bidder for high bid, and then, be able to ship it to me, because they'll ship it to you, but they won't ship it out here or whatever. Look at that. I have something right there. And you want to make a little bit of money? Talk to me, Seymour. Because I need that connection. I don't have that connection, but I need it. Well, Noelle, did you see my preview? Look at, what is that on me? I have no idea. Yeah, I know you do. I remember you talking about that when we first met. And I think that's really cool. Do you find a lot of sets that you actually can marry together? Do you find like this piece and then find that piece and then find, you know what I mean? Does that really work? I've never, every once in a while I have a piece in there and then I find something like, oh, I have the necklace, but not very often. Wow. Right on, Noelle. I don't find that. Noelle, can you fix the clip back on this Albert Weiss earring? God, I have the front. I even kept the clip back for a while, but I can't fix that. And this card is so rare. Bums me out. Bums me out. Okay, well, y'all, I am surrounded by jewelry. I am surrounded by household items. Let me show one more. I don't know. Where'd it go? Yeah, exactly. I can't glue the clip where it would like still clip, I don't think. So I'm probably just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The one that broke, make into a brooch. I don't know what to do. I hate it because it's Weiss and they only made it for a very small amount of time. So this is probably from the 80s or 90s. You can see how the glass is older. It could be older than that. I don't know, because look at the glass. Maybe it's recycled glass. I don't know, but it's really cool. It's a beautiful color. It's a short little thing. Here's the bottom. It's no maker's mark. It's a very well made. It's about 5 inches tall, about 3 inches here, 5 inches up here. It's a really nice piece. Imagine having a votive or fairy lights in there. It is super, it's emerald green. It's like emerald green. Bye, Noelle. Hugs, honey. So this was a buy it now for $15. And on that note, not just because Noelle is leaving, but on that note, I'm going to do my closing thing, which is I am doing I can't believe I have whatever this is. Tomorrow is my last day of 2-week build-a-boxes. I'll be on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, as usual. I don't do recaps. This is the point at which I would say to everyone, I brought, good Lord, I brought a mystery jar where items are less than $3 a piece. I showed all of it. I brought about 18 vintage household items and about probably 20 or more vintage jewelry items. If anyone is interested in any of that or wants to take a minute to go back to the beginning and fast forward through and drop in, or you've watched my preview and you're interested in an item, drop it in now before I close the sale, please. Otherwise, email me and let me know. You have until Sunday because I start invoicing and ship things out. These were $3, and this is glass. This is like rose quartz with rondelles and smoky quartz on the top. They were $3. They're really nice. I would wear these all day. I just don't need to. Anyone interested in the silver open band ring? Buy it now. $26. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Please, if you can't share this out, even though it's over, let people know that I exist. I need subscribers. Hit the thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. I'm going to go visit with my company. Thank you for looking. If you're interested in any of these buy it nows, reach out. You know where to find me. See you tomorrow. Bye.